What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to That Adventure Podcast. Man, I started this podcast a year ago this month in January 2024. This is barely the third episode. So, I'll be honest, you guys, I don't really have a show planned. I'm just going to kind of wing it. We're going to talk a little bit. This might even be a short episode. I just wanted to get back into this, get this ball rolling again. And by the way, we are missing Mrs. 909 for this episode. It's just going to be me. Again, I just wanted to start to get this ball rolling again and get the podcast up and running. I guess I should say not back up and running, but up and running, because again, it's barely the third episode and here we are a year later. After the initial start. But first things first, guys, I want to wish you guys a Happy New Year as I sit here January 7th, 2025. Kind of thinking back on 2024. 2024 was not exactly the year I was hoping for. I was hoping for definitely a better year. It wasn't a bad year as far as the channel goes. Just not the year I was hoping for and expecting. As most people do, I went into the new year, with big ambition, thinking this is going to be the greatest year yet. We're going to, have all this tremendous growth. I'm going to be putting out 2 to 3 videos a week, and that was couldn't have been further from the truth. But hopefully this year, I don't want to, my eyes to get too big here or my glass to get too full. But, I got some things kind of planned, I guess you could say. I have plans to make plans. We'll just leave it at that. But I am definitely going to try to do a minimum of 2 videos on the channel per week. I definitely want to do this podcast, so that could be the second episode or even a third episode for the channel, third upload for the channel. I'm not going to concentrate so much on shorts, as YouTube was really pushing a lot last year and that kind of faded out. I don't know, maybe they're still pushing it, but don't really hear too much about them like you did at the beginning of last year. The last 2 or 3 shorts that I put out didn't really get very many views versus the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I could count on putting out a short on YouTube and it doing something. Now they just kind of fall on their face, if that makes sense to you guys. So also in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the state of urban exploring in California. It's not very good, at least for last year and probably for the foreseeable future. And why I just flat out refuse to explore in California in 2024. But let's get into it, guys. For some reason, right now, the past few days, just kind of sitting here, I've been having this overwhelming urge to start creating again, making videos, whatever it is. So that's probably why I'm like, I can't get out and make videos right this second. I do have a lot of videos to actually edit, but I'm not going to release a video every day, because if I released a video every day, then, in about 2 to 3 weeks here, I won't have anything else to keep putting out. And that's another reason why you guys have been seeing some re-uploads. A lot of you guys have not seen the older stuff, and I believe a lot of the older videos are worth bringing up to the surface for you guys to see. And, the criteria that fits for a re-upload are videos that are more than a year old, has gotten little to no interaction, which, views. And, depending on a lot of the comments, my audience is completely different than what it was 3 or 4 years ago. The few people that I would see in my comments 2 or 3 years ago are not in my comments any longer. So obviously, you guys, the ones that are listening to this, have not seen the older videos or have taken the time to go through my entire catalog. As I'm looking at YouTube in our little studio YouTube right now, it says I'm about 4 uploads away from 300 uploads. So I got quite a few videos. Out there that I want to bring to the surface and let you guys see it. Some of these things are gone. So there's some things that you guys won't be able to find or see or explore anymore. Some of the things are still here. So, for whatever it is, even the things that are still around for these older videos are going to be in a little bit better condition than they are today. So I hope you guys are enjoying these re-uploads. And if you guys even realize the re-uploads or not, when you guys see 2 videos a week, one of those videos is a re-upload. So a little bit about urban exploring, about the state of the Urbex community here in California. But first, let's talk a little bit about what urban exploring is, just for in case you're first now stumbling onto my channel or the podcast here. Urban exploring is the exploration of man-made buildings or an area that was man-made, and it doesn't always have to be abandoned structures. That's something that has gotten lost in translation over the years. It doesn't always mean it has to be an abandoned building. I mean, when you're walking down the street in a city, that's an urban area. So any urban area would be considered, if you're exploring it, urban exploration. So that's the short answer to what urban exploration or Urbex is. And the state of urban exploring in California is not very good right now, which again is why I did refuse to really do any urban exploring in the state of California this past year for 2024. And that's mainly because when I started exploring here in Southern California, obviously, you're the new guy or the new person doing exploring, and you're finding these spots that other people have found. Then, some explorers reach out to you and like, hey, that's cool. We enjoy your channel, but this is how you do it. This is what's acceptable. You don't give out locations. You find some people that you can trust and you share them amongst them. You join a community, you be a part of the community. But if you start giving out locations, then nobody's going to want to work with you. You're kind of going to be considered an outsider, which, whatever. I mean, who really cares about that? But, I'd rather have the community on my side. And, of course, at the time, 6 years ago, thinking, okay, this is the way you're going to grow, because I know collaborations are, part of the growing process, part of the growing pains, whether you like it or not. Collaborations are really a great way to help your channel grow. And this was what the Urbex community, was. You don't share locations, because if you put them out in the open, you just, kind of post the location and the title or description of your videos, then you're giving out that location. Now anybody can just start going there, and it knocks down all your hard work, everything you did to find locations, all that work. You just made it easier for somebody else to go and do that. And that kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense to not put your work out there for free. So of course, I agreed to that. Who wants to give their work away for free? I mean, at the beginning of YouTube, everything you do is basically pro bono work. It's free. You're doing it just to bring your channel up, and you're already giving the product out for free. But to give the research that came along with that product out for free, it makes sense to not give out locations. Also, along with giving out locations, you get people that will want to go and destroy the locations. They'll want to tag them up, which, there'll be people that just go out there and scribble. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, there's a difference between tagging and graffiti. Graffiti actually looks good. I think it adds to the explorers, and, as long as it's done in the right place and you're not defacing property. If it's already abandoned, it's been abandoned, it's kind of trashed, and you could tell it's not going to be brought back to life. I don't have any problems seeing the right graffiti in the right locations. But again, I'm not the guy that's okay with seeing somebody scribble their little tagging on somebody's business or home or a property. So don't get those two things confused. But on the 909 Adventures channel on YouTube, which some of you are listening to this podcast on now, I have a playlist on the channel. It's titled "You Seen It Here First." Now, the videos in this playlist are the locations that I have found and have contributed to the urban exploring community. And some people have found them, even though I didn't title them what exactly they were or used to be or where it's at. Some people do find those, and believe it or not, some of the places have been burnt down. They've been defaced further beyond what they were, instead of nature kind of taking over and doing it in a natural sort of decay. And this is why I don't really give out locations. I have a handful of people that, or other explorers, I should say, that I do and will share my locations with. But there's a lot of people that I just don't and refuse. I've even had my life threatened once because I wouldn't give out a location because, I'm trying to protect that. It was one of my locations that I had found and discovered on my own. So, of course, I was a little more protective over it than, something that somebody else has found, and something that has been on the map for a while. It wasn't, trust me, I mean, there is some locations that I do have that I will share with some people. I call these little spots burner spots, kind of like, okay, if there's somebody that I'm looking to gain trust into, they seem cool, and maybe I would want to get to know them a little better and do a collab with them. If it's like a smaller channel and they're looking for spots, I have a few burner spots that I usually start off with and see where they go and how they handle that first. And then I'll give it some time to see if, they're going to stick around. They're going to keep uploading, making videos, if they're going to take it serious, because I take YouTube very seriously. So if I see they're taking it serious, then, hey, yeah, you know what? Let's do a collab together. Let's see what we can do. And that's kind of how I treat the locations. I have my burner spots, which are, easy to find. Then I have my spots, which I just refuse to give out. Again, I have, a very short list of people that I will share these spots with. So, the first generation of real true urban explorers are people like Adam the Woo, Exploring with Josh. They didn't really have to worry about that. Not everybody was doing urban exploring at the time that they started and really brought urban exploring up, basically to what it is today. So that first generation, they didn't have to worry about hiding the location and concealing, what could be possibly torn down, or not torn down, but, defaced or burnt down. And again, at that time, not everybody had uh, internet and a camera at the ready in their pocket, ready to go and go look for these locations. So it was a much easier time, simpler time to urban explore. Now myself, I'm part of that second generation where everybody did have a camera and does have a camera, and are able to find the locations of the spots very easily. Not as easy as they can today, but still it was relatively easy. If you said, "Hey, I'm exploring George Air Force Base," it would be all anybody had to do was go put in their GPS in their phone, George Air Force Base, and it'll pop up, and there they go. It's a free for all. Now with this third generation of urban explorers, I wouldn't say we're at odds with them, but with AI and how easy it is to find things, it kind of takes the fun out of it, the exclusiveness out of urban exploring. You don't it's not this exclusive club that it once was. I mean, I see daily these third generation explorers posting their findings, and not just what their findings are, where they're at, but they'll even post not just an address, but coordinates to these locations. And I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this, but that's just not the generation that I come from, or that I've thought was going to continue. I'm still kind of in the conceal the locations mode, and to try to keep it exclusive, so people don't go out and destroy these locations. That's kind of where I'm still at. But I'm starting to find that medium ground, and I guess it would say a common ground. I guess it would be common ground that I'm starting to come around. And I realize now, hiding these spots is only going to hurt the channel. You can't really put a spot out there, especially if you're not getting the sort of views that you feel and think you deserve for your channel. Like for myself, I feel I should be a lot further along. I'm almost 6.5 years into just 909 Adventures alone. I did start before that, which it was a different channel. We may get into that another time, but that channel is now defunct, and that was about 2 years before I started 909 Adventures. But again, I'm starting to come around to it. I see it. I see the value in it, but I also can still see the value of exclusiveness, of keeping locations very, very tightly sealed, so they can't be found. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do that, especially with my spots that I have and have found, and any future spots that I find that are not well known or known yet, I'm still going to more than likely keep to myself. But again, I'm starting to come around to it. I'm realizing that you don't need to ask somebody for locations anymore. It's very easy to find locations with AI. So it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter if I try to hide locations or keep them exclusive. AI will always find a location. I've very easily found locations using AI, the AI that just comes on my phone, no special app needed. It's built into your phones. So it's very easy to find locations now. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in the middle of it. I still like and enjoy the exclusiveness of it, but yet at the same time, any 13-year-old with a smartphone can find just about anything. They could probably even do a better job than I can nowadays. So the exclusiveness of urban exploring, especially out here in California where it's oversaturated, is it's gone. Unfortunately, the exclusiveness of urban exploring is gone. And something else I wanted to get into while we're here on the topic is another reason why I didn't do very much exploring in California last year, 2024, is because the market is just oversaturated with other explorers. There's so many people doing it, and even people come out of state. People are coming from out of state to just explore. They post pictures and the locations, so it's made it hard to where you kind of don't really want to, because again, it's already been done. It's been done so much. It's like beating a dead horse. Like there's places on my map that I have found and not put out and shared that other people have found and had posted, and they post locations. So it's like, well, that's kind of blown out of the water. Basically, anything that I have on my map has already been explored. Even some things that I have found that I never got the chance to go and film or record and put out on YouTube that nobody has done yet has already been found, explored, and it's almost like what for. But I've been thinking a lot lately. I don't think I want to let that kind of get the best of me. I don't want to let it discourage me. So I'm thinking 2025 is the year I'm going to clear my map. I want to get out to some of these places, even though they've already been done, 100 times by other explorers, newer explorers. I think I'm still going to get out there and do it and start exploring California again. Maybe not to the scale that I was exploring the first 3 years. Basically because, I have other genres, other niches that I have started implementing and peppering into the channel, which is a lot of travel. I wouldn't say a lot of travel, but Mrs. 909 and myself, we've went to Vegas a few times last year, and that content actually does better for me than the actual urban exploring. Believe it or not, the travel stuff is pretty good. And basically anything that I put on the channel that is not from California, even exploring other states, like we go to Arizona. Mrs. 909's family lives out there, so we'll go out there for, like, last year we went for Thanksgiving. Well, of course, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to record whatever I can in the area that's in, a reasonable driving distance. And, I got some pretty good stuff. I still got a lot of things coming out. I've released a lot of things from that area, and, they don't do the best, but they're still doing better than what urban exploring has been doing for me in the past year or two. So, those sort of things, the Vegas stuff, the little bit of travel, exploring other areas outside of California actually does better for me than my home state, which is pretty sad. And again, to get back to that AI, how it's so easy to find things with AI. I used to daily get people ask me for locations, and with AI being able to find a location for you, at the snap of a finger. I don't think I've had anybody ask me really for a location in the past 6-9 months, maybe even a year. And I was actually wondering, what's going on? Where's everybody at? Everybody dried up. I kind of got used to people asking me, hey, check out my channel and let me know what you think, and check this spot out, check that out. and where's this at? I got used to that. That was a daily occurrence for, I don't know, maybe 3 years, maybe even 4 years. Then all of a sudden it slowly, actually I can't say slowly, it rapidly dried up. That stopped very quick with people asking for spots, and I was trying to figure out why. And then maybe, I don't know, less than 6 months ago, I realized, wow, I can actually use AI and find locations a lot easier than I can the old traditional way, which is, it's no secret. Going onto Google Maps and just scrolling through Google Maps. It's how you find a lot of locations. Using AI is a lot easier than spending a day or two on Google Maps to find, a spot to go and explore. Or, because I remember there would be days I would spend on Google Maps looking for locations, and I would find some pretty cool locations. Some of them you've seen on the channel, and some of them are still there on the map, which, again, I really want to clear it off. I wanted to check that out, check it off, and check my list off, I guess I should say. So with the oversaturation of the market, AI, and just, spots being demolished, it kind of discouraged me for a while. I'll be honest with you guys. It discouraged me from wanting to explore California. You know what probably the main factor is, now that I think about it, was is the price of gas. Gas has gotten very expensive, especially in California. I think it's California has the highest gas prices in the nation. So, of course, that makes it hard to do anything. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I appreciate anybody that's made it to the end and listened to my rant and me ramble on about the current state of urban exploring in California. Again, you guys, this is just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't really matter, so who cares? But hopefully I can get these episodes going. I'm hoping and I'm shooting for once a week, and I would love to make this an actual full show for you guys. Not just an episode like this, but an episode just like the first two. Maybe a little bit more production to it. Actually have some things and ready to go and talk about for the episode. So now, I don't want to make any promises, but I want to be on a schedule for the uploading of an episode for this podcast at least once a week by the end of this month, January 2025. So I got to get Mrs. 909 on board and get some shows ready for you guys. We want to do birthday shout outs. We got some ideas. We had some ideas a year ago, so I don't believe these ideas have gone away. They just gotten shelved for a little while. So again, we want you guys to be as active as possible with this podcast, and we want you guys to comment. We'll read your guys' comments right here on the podcast. So leave a comment for a chance to have it read in the next episode, and submit your birthdays so we can have do your birthday shout outs. So we really want to make this as interactive for you guys as we can. So again, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble on, which I'm still doing. I don't know why I'm putting so much fluff into this episode, but right now I'm just having that creative itch, and I need to get it out. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Thanks for listening, guys.